Hi guys, and welcome back to another video about So Rare. Joined again with by Just So Rare himself. Welcome back.
Hi mate, how you doing?
I'm all good. It felt like a short time since I spoke to you last. I know there's not going to be much change in our teams this week, but I thought we'd just continue it as long as see progress, and if we do start winning stuff, we can show what we invest it into. So I'll go first with my team selection this week. Going to start with
Go on, mate.
a common goalkeeper this week, like always. But I've gone for the Augsburg keeper. They're against. I haven't got a tough game. What's it against? This is it against Stuttgart. Possibly a 0-0. I'm hoping, so he could get a nice score. Scored 70 on last week, so I'm hoping he'll do well this week. Then I brought in a new addition, so Mike Wirik. Basically, the reason I brought him in is after you mentioned in the last video about having 3 at the back, or right and left backs who assist often. I had a little look, and this geezer, for Groningen, has been hitting at least 50s on average over the last, just on a consistent basis, this guy has. He hit 100 2 weeks ago for a goal line clearance, but like you said, because he plays in a 3 at the back, he's not likely to lose a ball very often, and if so, he's more likely to do tackles.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that advice. So that's why I brought him in.
I hope it bloody carries on working now, because I don't want to be responsible.
Oh no, don't worry about that. That's okay, mate. But
no, it's something I look for all the time, to be honest. Are they away to Utrecht today or tomorrow? Or they're home?
No, they're away. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're away, mate.
Oh, because that is 7th play versus 8th. Utrecht to 7th, and
I'll show you something cool. They lost, right? Oh, they won 4-3 last week. Okay, and he still scored 50 odd. So I'm not too shocked about that. As long as he, does well himself, it doesn't matter about conceding goals. I'm always wary of picking people up from the Eredivisie who will concede loads of goals, especially he's got Ajax when they come back from international break. But I just anticipate himself doing a decent game. That's about it.
As long, obviously, with your goalkeeper, if they let in 3, they lose shitloads of points. Yeah. But defenders, all they do is lose 2 points every goal they concede. So, like you said, as long as they're winning tackles, duels, and doing all sorts of other things, they could conceivably let in 5 and still hit 50, 60 points.
Exactly. That was kind of my thinking behind it, especially, like, I'll bring him up here. It's so ridiculous. Look at it. So, again, he may drop, but he consistently hits pretty high score.
Yeah.
For an ETH grinding team, it's decent.
Well, that's all you're looking for. If he hits those averages.
And it's just all around scores,
Yeah. If you get 4 or 5 of them or 4 in your team who hit those averages, then you're going to hit at least 0-1 every game week.
That literally is the hope, and hopefully I can offload one of the other ones. So what's it? Marvin Martins, his counterpart, his left back, right? He had 8. He scored 8 2 weeks ago from all the mistakes they're making. This is insane. How do you make a mistake that bad? But that's the reason why I brought him in. Hopefully he can do, at the end of the season, next 8 games, be pretty consistent for me.
I'm sure you have. I just want to double check. You've checked team news and things. They're not suspended or anything, are they?
He's good. Philip Pommer is a risk. Again, couldn't find a damn thing on him anywhere. But I'm assuming because he had a bruised heel, it should only last a week. That's my assumption, and I'm hoping I'm right in that saying. At least if he comes on as a sub or something, I'm not sure he'll start. But that's why I've put him in as a risk. They are playing at home, so I'm hoping he does play. Then, obviously, striker Maximilian Philipp. They're playing home to Leverkusen. Obviously, I haven't got many choices for strikers. I'm hoping he starts this week. I know they're kind of rotating players, but the hope is he starts.
Leverkusen are shit at the back as well. They concede goals for fun. They score a few also, but they're not great defensively. So there should be a few goals in that game.
I'm in hope.
You watch when we do our follow-up video. Now it'll be 0-0.
Oh wait, as long as it's 0-0 and he's like, I don't know, been fouled for a penalty, yet they missed it. I don't know.
No, they won't get it. They don't get it. The penalty has got to be scored.
No way.
Yes. So if any of your players get the penalty, that penalty has to be scored because otherwise they don't get the points because it's classed as an assist, basically. It's worded differently because it's penalty one, but there's a lot of debate on this, whether they should just either change the name because technically a penalty one, he has won that. So regardless whether it's scored or not or missed, they should really get those points because that's the terminology used is penalty one. Well, he did win it, but if they don't score it, they don't win the points.
Okay. So what about, I think I've read you can only have one decisive, right?
No.
So what if he got fouled in the penalty box, right? And then he scored it?
Oh, on one action, they can only get one decisive.
Right.
Like what that example you used, he wouldn't get two decisives for a goal and a penalty one. But if he scored a hat-trick, then obviously he'd get three decisive scores for each goal he scored.
Cool, okay. Righty. That's interesting. So then last for me, I've got obviously Sonna Dickman back in. He's away to your favourite team. Why are they always called Calaboo? But anyway, Fenerbahce Calaboo.
There's loads of them called Calaboo. I don't know what the hell. It must be some Turkish thing. I'm not aware of.
Because there's Konyaspor Calaboo versus Fenerbahce Calaboo.
Yeah, it's bloody. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I got no idea, but I've noticed that because I'm thinking, Jesus Christ! I got players. Originally, I thought they were all from the same club because I just quickly looked at them and I thought, hang on, he plays for Calaboo as well. But
he's captain for me, hoping he get some sort of decisive this week. But that's my team, hoping for at least 2 or 5.
Good.
If they all start.
My advice, and again, you play it how you want to. Whoever you think is the most likely to hit a decisive, that should be your captain. Because if your captain scores 60 with the bonus, you're looking at around 85 points. So then obviously the rest of them have got to score less than the average to get over the 205 points, But
yeah, you're right in that. And that's why I went for him, because again, with Maximilian Philipp, I don't know if he'll start. And then him, I have no idea if he'll start again. So that's why I had to go for him, because I know he's a starter.
That's a good point as well. You've got to pick someone you're 99% confident that they will start the game.
Yeah.
Because as you've seen on my team last week, Valdez was my captain and the dickhead didn't start the game. So, it's just, it's a costly error if you captain the wrong guy and he doesn't start or whatever. You're playing catch up, really.
Yeah. Over to you then, mate. I'll stop mine.
Right. 18th of March. Where the hell is it? Rare, isn't it?
Let's go to teams,
Yeah. So you know more than me. Oh, how do I do that to get yours?
If you scroll up and click teams on the left. My team.
Oh, yeah. See, you know more than me. I've been on the platform for in 2 years and you know more than me. Right. So I'm undecided because Jasper Cillison for Valencia, my goalie, I know what's going on. He had a blood clot. He's had an op to sort it out. Footmob is saying he's due back. Originally, it was middle of March, and now they've put it to late March. So I can't risk not having any sort of goalkeeper. So I've gone with Szczesny to this week. I don't know whether that's a good pick or not, given how Juventus got on in midweek out of the Champions League. So I don't think it's going to be a party atmosphere there by any stretch of the imagination. And they're playing whatever they were called, Salernitana or something, who are crap, but they're fighting for their lives, so you never know. So
they've been fighting since the start of the season, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just hoping Szczesny plays and keeps a clean sheet, because technically they should, but you never know, especially with football and especially with Juventus, because I don't know what's going on with them. They've just become crap all of a sudden. So my defender is my boy, Kroigi boy, my Zenit
That's the one
player. When I talk about wing backs and things, this boy, Zenit, have started playing 3 at the back, 3 centre halves, from what I can see. Now he's playing almost as a left midfielder, and because they're a dominant side, Zenit. So my thinking behind that, and I don't know whether I try and watch as many teams and players that I've got. And, the Russian league's by no means a top league, but they're the dominant side in there. And they do try and, they're not hoofing the ball 60 yards. And so he would be an exception because, well, the 2 goals he scored in the last 2 games that he's played, they've both been shots from outside the box. And
he's playing as a midfielder, but as a defender.
He's playing almost as he's a wing back because they're so dominant. He's playing as a midfielder. So cool. He's a nice little buy him. Again, I don't know whether I should have put this geezer in, Valdez. The problem with him when he's on song, for me, he's arguably the best player in Mexico for the position he plays in. Creative, he'll always score or assist.
Well, hopefully, however, this week.
Well, I don't know why he was on the bench last week, to be honest. So, but I've gone with him anyway. So my striker then is Yaremchuk. Again, he was on the bench. He had the flu last week, so didn't play.
Right.
He was on the bench in the Champions League game that they won at Ajax. He came on with a few minutes to go. So I'm just hoping he starts. And not just for my team, but because he's Ukrainian, I'm desperate for him to score.
Yeah.
Yarmolenko did for West Ham yesterday, who's also obviously also Ukrainian. So I just want him to score because they must be going through a horrendous time trying to play football when, they got family members living in that country and Christ knows what's going on. But so I've stuck him in because I'm desperate for him to score more than anything, really. Not just for my team.
There, man. I like that.
Absolutely. And my extra, I had so many options. I had the Saba boy.
He's not in this week.
He's not in this week, and the only reason is they're playing away to Besiktas, and I like to have teams who are playing at home. I think it makes a massive difference. Lobotka, he's a steady Eddie. He can score 60, 70 without hitting a decisive score, especially when they're playing against the weaker sides, because he gets a few tackles in. One game, he made 134 completed passes.
Wow.
And that was a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was wrong. I went on bloody FootMob or something, and I thought, well, that can't be right. But it was, and that's like 13 points. And in all probability, the passes he were making were probably 2 yards to his other centre. He's not, because he's a defensive midfielder. So I've put him in, just hoping he hits, 50, 60, just from doing what he's got to do. He's never going to score or assist, in my opinion, because he plays far too deep. So unless it's a wonder goal or something, then, it's tackles, interceptions, that's where his points are coming from. So all I hope is they all bloody start. That's all,
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. If they all start, and this is for anyone listening, they've got 150 points between them. Really. Mm-hmm. With your common goalkeeper, I try and average it out for about 20 points. So if you get all of them to start, you've only need, and especially if it's your captain, if he scores or assists, you're almost guaranteed 1F if they all start and they don't do something stupid and get sent off or anything ridiculous. But if they just start, have average games, and your captain scores or assists, you are almost guaranteed 1F. And that's how I've always looked at it.
Yeah.
And if you can get 1 or 2 doing it, then you're almost guaranteed to get your 2F. And then obviously the more who do it, you've got a potential then for the card. So yeah, that's my team. So fingers crossed.
That's really nice, mate. And on SofaScore, they do have Lobotka as a predicted lineup starter.
Yes, I always check. Not that you can guarantee it, but I've checked a few sites and he's down there. So I got no doubt he'll play. Again, probably the curse now. He'll probably be on the bench. But because they're home to a pretty poor side in Udinese, I think they'll be dominant and they'll have a lot of the ball. So he'll be passing 2 yards to his teammate and racking up the points. So, yeah. So, best of luck.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Best of luck yourself. Like last
week,
you went 260s, didn't you? 60 odds. So.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have even hit 1F. Yeah. So, this is the beauty with it. You just never know. And there's a lot of luck involved. So, to everyone now, best of luck with your game weeks.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you dropping on again. Okay, and we'll check in when the game week finishes. Okay.
Absolutely, mate.
Game week. Well, thank you again.
Absolutely. Lovely. Cheers, Bitty, and I'll speak to you soon, mate.
I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra, pal.